Let's go across to our guest joining us. Kalyan Raman is spokesperson of Tamil Nadu BJP. Harish Mohammad Ibrahim is political analyst, backs the DMK. Suman Sri Raman and Professor Geeta Bhatt, political analyst, and Ashwini Dubey, advocate, Supreme Court, all with us. Harish Mohammad Ibrahim, I'll start with you. So many suggest that the very fact that the DMK has possibly acted in the manner that it is or overreacted to this issue is because it fears exactly what Mohan Bhagwat is talking about, a Hindu awakening in the state of Tamil Nadu.
First of all, it is totally absurd to call that the DMK government is blocking all those things. It is not the truth because the judgment has been reserved by 2014 when the ADMK was in power and 2017 when again the ADMK was in power. So this is not only with the DMK government because a law-abiding government should take precaution measures when these kind of fringe elements want to try to polarize one community against another. And in Tamil Nadu, whatever they plan and whatever they insinuate and whatever they try to do with the communal divisive politics, it won't affect even any bit when there is the DMK government in place. Because we are the one government which made sure 3,000 plus temples Kudamulaku that Kumbhabhishema has happened. But they want to portray the DMK government as a government which is against Hindu. That is not true. Because even the Tamil Nadu people know how to divide the politics and religions on a particular
but then
arena,
did you need to, you calling it a fringe element, did you really need to go out of your way to try and defy the court order, even if you didn't agree with it? You had legal remedies, which is fair, but even before those legal remedies could be exhausted, you filed an impeachment motion against the judge. This doesn't just show that the state fears that there could be a problem, this shows more. And statement after statement from DMK leaders, including DMK MPs, has made it very clear that your problem is that there could be Hindu groups or BJP behind this. So is that the only reason you're opposing this?
No, not at all. How come a constitutional framework has given a clear mandate under the Article 217 for the judges to perform their duties? But at the same time, you can't go ahead and overrule a judge, a division bench judge ruling which was proposed by 1996 and which has been upheld by 2014 and 2017. You can't go ahead and a single judge can overrule. That is not our constitutional framework as set for all the judges.
But you can't defy it either. You have to have legal remedies that, come to your aid.
Of course, the government has gone to the appeal, and unless the 144 section has been implemented, and they have given an order by 3 o'clock, and which has been defined by 6 o'clock, even without any kind of remedy has been given to the state government to perform it. And only after then the 144 was imposed because the BJP's fringe groups, which is under the BJP's influence, have come to create a communal unrest. When a government, when an government is there in place, and when there has been a separate order has been issued, which has been upheld by 2014 and 2017, when the order is there, how come a fringe element go ahead and create a communal unrest? Using this as a citation.
The communal unrest angle hasn't been proven because the state preempted it. There was nothing to suggest that there would have been a communal disharmony on ground. And this whole thing about someone being a fringe element, I'm not sure if somebody you consider a fringe element has no rights in Tamil Nadu, because that will be against democratic principles. Someone you disagree with, someone you don't like also has legal rights, and they went legally to do this. They didn't try to create a communal issue or a law and order issue. The order was fair and square. But Sumant raised his hand, so I'll allow him to come in on this.
Yeah, 2 points. First, the 2017 judgment, the prayer itself was different. It is not the same issue at all. There, it was the claim was to light on top of the hill and not at the present Deebatun that is being claimed. So first of all, to say that this matter is closed and everything is over and this is an overturning of an earlier judgment is totally incorrect. The second point is that here is a judgment which has come out. Now, you may agree with it, you may disagree with it, you have the right to appeal and you have gone on appeal. My point is very simple. Now, yesterday, apparently people from the Tamil Nadu Archaeological Department went up the hill and nobody knows what they did. Now, this is in such a sensitive point of time. They have gone and spent time at the Deebatun trying to, I don't know whether it is to make measurements or whatever. But in such a charged atmosphere, when the matter is already in court, why were they, asked to go there? So there is a lot of doubt in people's minds. And one more, bottom line is very simple. This is a court order. And the most important part of this whole thing is the Muslim community has not objected. They don't have a problem with this because they say that this is on the temple land, it is not on Dargah land, it is not on Dargah property, it does not infringe on the rights of the Dargah. So they don't have a problem. Why is the government having a problem? And this talk of communal. See, communal situation is if two sides are there in a problem. Here, both sides have no problem with this. The Hindu side says we will light it in our area. We are not infringing on the area of the Dargah. We are not infringing on your rights. The Muslim side says, fine, go ahead and do it. And
Yeah.
these
Why
people,
should there be a
for the
communal
sake
problem?
of votes, for the sake of votes, and trying to show that they are the saviors of minorities, this is nothing but a political move, nothing more than that.
Okay, but in that political overzealousness, has the DMK or the state government of Tamil Nadu now created a precedent where you could move an impeachment motion against a judge just because you don't seem to like the fact that he says certain things or attends certain events? I'll come to that in just a bit. But Kalyan Raman, I do want to bring you in here. You know, RSS chief is saying Hindu awakening in itself will take care of matters like these. The matter is sub-judice. How do you respond to the charge that the BJP, also with the eye of the elections coming in barely few months' time, is also kind of using this issue to try and, try and build an anti-Hindu kind of a narrative in the state and galvanize the public in your favor? You've been trying to win Tamil Nadu for a very long time, and this seems to be one more attempt at this.
First of all, we have to understand that the issue is never ever brought up by anybody who is claiming to be a Hindu organization. The state government appointed somebody by name Nawaz Kani, who is an MP from Ramanathapuram, as the state Waqf board president, and he goes to up the hill and eats biryani and puts out the picture of eating biryani, thereby hurting the sentiments of Hindus. This was the beginning. That essentially means the DMK government wanted to rake up a communal unrest in Tamil Nadu deliberately by sending IUML MP Nawaz Kani into Tiruparagutam temple, despite the fact that first of all, we have to understand one basic element, that this particular Dargah on top of the hill is a Shia place, not a Sunni place, Sunnis being the majority of the state of Tamil Nadu. The Shias of Tamil Nadu who are worshipping in the Dargah have absolutely no objection for lighting of the lamp on the top of the hill. So, given the situation, the state government making an objection to lighting the lamp on the top of the hill, and they defy the court order. There was a double bench sitting and saying that the earlier single judge order is right. Still the state not permitting it, going to the Supreme Court and then going for an impeachment. All this does not augur well with maintenance of law and order.
No, but how do you
DMK
respond to the
government
fact that
essentially
even in
want to have
2014 and 2017, the courts were of the view that their custom shouldn't be broken, and at the traditional lamp, the lamp should be lit, not at the ancient lamp? This has nothing to do with DMK. State government after state government in Tamil Nadu has backed this view.
There was absolutely no difference between the earlier judgments and the present judgment, except the fact that there was yet another lamp post identified on which somebody wants to light the lamp, for which the Dargah authorities have absolutely no objection. Who is raising the objection to begin with? If the Dargah people have no objection, who is the state to come in between? The place is owned predominantly by the Hindus and partly by the Dargah authorities as on date, as per the records available as per law. When there are only two parties and the two parties are ready to work together on a simple issue of lighting of lamp, who is the state government to come in between? And that too, despite the law, the law enforcing judgment having come in place both by Justice G.R. Swaminathan and later by the bench.
The bench as
When
well.
both have upheld the lighting of lamp is right, who are you as a state? You
No,
have
but
no
are you
business to
trying
do
to
with it.
milk this issue
Absolutely
ahead of
zero.
elections? Harish, I'll come to you next. Are you trying to milk this issue ahead of elections? That seems to be the fear of the DMK, and they have clearly said that
No,
we will
I-
not allow
I
you.
did say-
If you try to escalate, then you will be thrown out, is one of the
I
statements.
did say I did say in specific the issue, the communal flare up is being deliberately done by the DMK because they want to garner the Muslim votes, because they lost the hope of getting Hindu votes by and large. Some votes they can purchase, some votes they want to retain by appeasing the minorities of the state who are in huge number. In Tamil Nadu, for you to understand, the minority vote bank is something pretty close to 20%. When I say that, this includes roughly 6 to 7% of crypto Christians vote. This is what they want to garner by indulging in one minority appeasement to begin with.
Okay.
Maybe they will jump on to one more minority appeasement at a later date. This is the scenario with which the DMK is functioning as on date. Sending Nawaz Kani was a deliberate attempt to create a communal unrest well in advance. This happened 5-6 months back.
Okay.
So
And
it
is sending an
DMK which is
AIC
indulging in
team
it, not
now
anybody else.
also an attempt
And having
to
said that, I
somehow
have one final
disrespect?
point to make that.
Yes.
Having said that, I must say that the place is owned by Hindus. A small portion is left out to Dargah people. The Sikandar Dargah, whatever they call it as, is a person, as per history, has been chased by Kumara Kambanna in 14th century. He went hiding there, he was butchered there. He is not a person who is sanctified, somebody who is sacrosanct. Okay. So,
Okay.
somebody went, he was hiding there, he was killed by somebody, somebody made the place as a burial ground and what they call it as Dargah. He is not a descendant of some saintly personality and all. So, if the Hindus have to claim it in future, like Ayodhya, it may have to happen. It is nothing but natural.
Okay. When you say that,
For
then it
which,
proves the
the
DMK
DMK
correct that
government
you're all
sowing the
trying to
seeds.
repeat Ayodhya in
Now
Tamil
you know.
Nadu.
Now you know why the BJP is being put on place by the DMK government, right?
I
They
am not
want to
saying it,
create these kind
gentleman.
of polarization
You are
and
creating
division.
it. You are creating it. We
So
respond to it.
where does
When
the
you create
BJP
it, we
RSS
don't have
went
another
on
option
to
but to respond.
2014?
Why
Where
did you
does the
send Nawaz
BJP?
Kani? Tell me
Why
one reason
does
why you sent Nawaz Kani.
you go and ask him?
What
You
Nawaz
go and
Kani has
ask him.
got
They
to
are
do
a
with the
separate
Dargah?
party. They
A
are a
small
separate
place.
party. Go and ask him. File a case against him. If you have all
Why
the
did you
legal
send
remedies,
Nawaz
go
Kani?
and
He is
what
represent the
kind of
state.
rubbish argument is
As the
this?
chairman
How
of the
come a
Waqf board, he
how
represents
come
the
a
state.
DMK
He doesn't
how come a DMK
represent the
government will
IUML.
send a MP from another party? What kind of rubbish argument is this? Number one. And number two,
You
now
ask that
how
One by
why
one,
the
one by
BJP?
one.
of the state.
One second, let me complete.
Okay, Harish, 30 seconds, then I have to go to our other guests as well. Yes.
No, the government has followed a strict protocol of lighting the Deepathoon in the Uchi Pullayar, which has been followed for almost century, which has been done by the HRNC without even a 0.01% of deviation. And number two, if there is any kind of new place should be identified by the Hindu community or by the judges, it has to follow the due process of the law. You can't go ahead and give a statement by 3 o'clock and you put an
A
order by
judgment
6
is due
o'clock.
process law. Don't you understand?
No, by 6
Do you
o'clock.
think
One second,
you
let
are
me
a better
complete. Let me
authority
complete.
than the court?
Let me complete. No.
You are
How
not a
come then-
greater
how come-
authority than
how
the
come-
court.
How come then a division bench
Don't
ruling
fool
has
around.
been ruled out
Don't
by
fool
a
around.
No,
single,
but you are
single judge?
forgetting,
Don't fool around.
Harish,
Don't
you are
fool around.
forgetting that the single judge's order was also
The
upheld by
judgment
the
is very
Madras
clear.
High
Just
Court.
stick to the judgment.
By
Just
the
follow the
benches,
So
judgment.
you
division
have to,
benches,
you
right?
have to,
Period, over.
that is what the government has been proving, that those stone is from the archaeological stone marking. It is not a proper Deepathoon. That is what the government's plea is all
Yeah,
about.
you're doing
If
that
you want to
now.
go ahead,
What do you
You're
know
doing
about
one
it?
second.
You don't know.
Can I request
If you
both of you to
you
not
don't
speak
know.
over each other? Kalyanji, I'll come back to you. The problem is that you can do that. You can make that argument. You can do everything. You can now send an ASI team also. The only problem that arises is you cannot choose to defy an order just because you do not like it. If all state governments or individuals started doing that, then it will lead to exactly the law and order issue that you have raised in the first place. But I want to go across to Professor Geeta Bhatt as well. Professor Geeta Bhatt, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat's view that has been espoused. He obviously said the matter is sub-judice, but he said Hindu awakening is enough to take care of these issues. What do you think he means by this? Does he mean that Hindus, when they become vocal enough, that governments have to hear them and will have to bow down to their wishes?
Shivani, just 30 seconds. I just want to, put the context which Kalyanji also mentioned historically, with respect to Madurai as a city for 43 years in the 13th century, it was ruled by the Madurai Sultanate, which was called like that, and it was the some of the princes from the Delhi Sultanate who went there because Madurai was a very rich city in terms of lot of gold, and it was during that time that what Kalyanji was mentioning, that it was the Vijayanagar Empire prince Kumar Kampana who went there and he defeated them and established the Hindu kingdom again in Madurai. So, and it is in this context that this dargah of the individual who was killed over there and burial ground has been made. So it is not per se a religious place in terms, if you look historically in those terms. And at the same time, what is Shivani here important is what Sri Mohan Bhagwat ji has said, that it is basically what the constitution. It is not. He mentioned, if you listen to the whole context in which he has put forth this point, he's saying that it is the constitutional right where Baba Sahib Ambedkar, which had he in the preamble he had said that he has talked about liberty, equality, and fraternity. So why is it that the only country in the world where Hindus are, a major community, there even when they have the constitutional protection, they have a judicial verdict which stands with nothing else but their rights to practice their religion and the tradition it is being sabotaged by the state government. It is the state which is resisting, which is hindering the something which should come as a citizen of this country, of a free democratic nation. It is the right of the community there, the Hindu community, which has for centuries believed in lighting the Islam. They are being subjected to this kind of. It is such a irony that people and their political leaders are going ahead. You just look at the level to which they are going. They are ready to go and to the Speaker of the Parliament and tell that there should be an impeachment of the judge who has given a judgment in favor.
Yeah, but they are standing true to their politics. They stand and believe very firmly that this is communal politics of the BJP, quote unquote, right wing. There is no place for this in Tamil Nadu. They're doing politically what they think is what they stand for. The only problem here is the mixing of the political rhetoric with what the state government can or cannot do or should not do. And now the question of browbeating a judge by saying you are biased just because you don't like him. In fact, Ashwini Dubey, all of the past instances where impeachment has been attempted have been either on grounds of corruption. There have been multiple such cases. Nobody has been impeached per se, but yes, some judges have retired or quit before the impeachment process could complete. The most latest cases of Justice Yashwant Verma, again, wads of cash found at his residence, and that's why it was a corruption matter. One faced sexual harassment allegations but got a clean sheet. Another judge, Justice J.B. Pardiwala, his remarks on reservation drew ire, but he withdrew those remarks. There is another judge who was accused of judicial interference and caste slurs, but the motion was rejected. So, just bringing in this impeachment that, the judge has said this, done this, attended this event, do you think this would be sufficient at all to impeach a judge, or this is just a political gimmick?
Of course not. The proved misbehavior, serious ethical or professional misconduct or incapacity, inability to discharge duties due to physical or mental reasons. Here it's unheard of the Indian Supreme Court and High Court's establishment, since it's established that the judge is being impeached for the reason that he has passed an order, and that too when there is a right to appeal available under the law. The Constitution is a guided principle which says that if you are aggrieved by any order, you may appeal it to the appellate court. And that too when the High Court and the Supreme Court, single bench order can be appealed to the High Court, the division bench, and then it can go to the Supreme Court. Instead of moving in that direction, what you are doing, you are obstructing the judge, which has a constitutional right under the separation of powers under the Constitution, to discharge his duties. For this, he has taken a constitutional oath. It is very wrong trend is being started that the judge fearlessly cannot discharge duties. Point one. Point to right time, and again 2017 judgment is being discussed. Three aspects were there. Crucial aspect did not, none of the panelists have raised. It said that it cannot dictate the precise location, but as a devotee, the personal regal right to enforce lighting at any specific location, and if the temple perform functions without violating its duties, courts must refrain from interfering in matters. Even the court did not say that you cannot lit the deepam there. Number three, if you see the past precedents of the impeachment is then when there is a Judges Inquiry Act which provide the framework for removing judges of the Supreme Court. Here you have a right to remedy appeal, but despite obtaining or exhausting that remedy, you are straight away going to the parliament just for making a judge into your political debate or to win the elections, or for politically motivated. You are saying this judge has a passed order which has a ramification. Rightly or wrongly, if a judgment passed, that judgment, unless reviewed or appealed or stayed, the state is bound to
Exactly.
the,
So
implement
impeachment
that
motion
order.
has obviously been a gimmick of sorts, and it is a political, posturing, which is fine. Political parties are allowed that. This is also an avenue available to them. So they have exercised it. But in doing so, Harish, has the DMK kind of given up, their mental makeup, which is that they're even willing to browbeat the judiciary because they think a case is a conspiracy by a certain section or motivated by a certain section. You can't decide that you will follow a court order depending on that. You have to follow a court order, period.
No, if you go ahead and saw the chronology of events by the Justice GRS on various events, whether he attended an RSS, let us keep aside that. But having said that, he has his constitutional position to make sure to deliver a judgment, which the DMK government doesn't have any say upon it. But having said that, a series of judgments passed by him under the Madurai High Court Division Bench of Madras have given a serious ramifications and series of thought process which has been provoking, which is communally divisive in nature for the last 13 to 14 cases. There are so many cases which I can pull it up and give it to you, all the 13 to 14
for
cases.
the benefit
right?
of our viewers, Harish, please mention one of these cases that became a communal problem.
Ask him to
No,
name
no,
the case.
Yeah, Harish,
No,
please
there
name
are
one
so
case.
many.
Just cite one case, gentlemen.
There are so many.
I'm not
so
looking
many.
for
I don't
more,
which
just
the
one.
matter is
No,
sub-judice.
name
I
the
don't want to
cases,
get into
sir.
that.
No,
Name
no.
the cases.
No.
If you don't know, just don't say
It
that.
is no longer a matter. One
It is
second,
true.
gentlemen,
It is true.
gentlemen, I'll allow you to
Everything is
come
on
in.
the record.
But
Everything-
Harish,
Don't behave
you
like a
have
communal.
already,
Mr. GRS,
Harish, the
even
DMK
Mr.
has already
GRS,
moved an impeachment motion against the judge.
Don't
Right?
behave
So
like
you
a
can't now
communal.
say the matter is sub
I don't want to
judice.
get into the
Harish.
matter which is the sub-judice. Whatever the division bench which has been given,
Huh.
he ruled out it. And how come a constitutional position has the framework to do that?
No,
Whether
you
it is
name
not
a case which
property-
created a problem.
Name the
There are
cases,
so
no.
many. Even the press club has been happening
Hey,
yesterday
yeah.
by those two, Mr. Hari Padmanabhan, the previous judge, and another person who was
What
there
are
at the
the
Madras
cases,
Press
sir?
Club. Madras Press
Sir,
Club, you
please
go ahead and
name
see.
some
I don't want to
cases.
name
Press
that.
club is not a
I
case.
don't
You'd
want-
give me a
No,
case
no,
where
I
you
don't-
can
no,
say the
I'm
judge
saying-
crossed
I'm
his
saying-
limits.
Tell us
I'm
the
saying
cases.
there are
Tell
13
us
to
the
14
cases.
instances which Mr.
Tell us.
GR has
No, you
given,
tell five.
which has
You tell
created a
four.
huge amount of ruckus.
You
Where is the
Even
huge
Mr.
amount of ruckus?
GRS,
I'll allow
even
Sumant
Mr.
Siraman to come in.
GRS, even
You
Mr.
tell
Sumant and
GRS
Harish,
has
please.
stated
No,
in an
14
open-
cases, no. 14 cases. You tell 5 cases. Tell.
I'm
Give us the
saying
list.
even Mr. GRS
Somebody
has
said something. You
categorically
are not
said.
able to tell me which judgment
I don't
created
want. I
the
don't
say
want to
one,
pull out the
forget
data
about
for
five,
you.
one
You
case.
have everything. You have everything on
Harish,
record.
just
Even
say
Mr.
one case.
GRS,
Why don't
even
you
on the
mention the case?
last forum, he openly said that he has his constitutional position, which is oversight the Sanatana Dharma, whatever the religious beliefs, he goes for it. He will go ahead and uphold
never-
that first. And whether
Today,
that is not his,
he did
it
not
is
say
against
that.
his oath.
He did
That
not
is not
show
against his
us
oath.
the clip. Where
That is
did
not
he
against
say
his
that?
oath of
Where did he
constitution,
say that?
which the Mr.
Where
Judge
did he
has
say
taken.
that? When did he
No.
say that? Where did he say
Everything
that?
is on
When did he
record.
say that?
Everything is on record.
Everything
Everything is on
Show
record.
it. Show it.
Everything
You are not
is on
able to
record.
produce.
If you
You are not
if you
able-
have
you
anything,
are
you go
not-
ahead and file a
you
case
are-
against me.
Sir,
I will
why-
prove in the court of law.
One by
Where
one,
does
please.
he
One
say
by
that?
one. Can I give Sumant
If
30
you
seconds,
have-
please?
if you
Harish,
have anything
Harish, please.
against-
I request you to yield now. Sumant, very quickly.
Man
Yes.
is saying he has given 14 cases which are violative of constitution and so on. He has not named one case.
No,
He
they're
says you
not
got
saying
it up.
14 cases. They're saying there are 13 instances which
Yes.
includes his speeches, his attending an event, etc. But if you're talking about his cases being biased or judgments being biased, which can be a logical
Yesterday,
issue on which
there
you can
was
impeach a
there
judge,
was a
there
report,
doesn't seem to be a
Shivani.
case.
There was a report saying that he had disposed of the most number of cases in
Yes.
recent times. 73,000 cases have been disposed of by him. The man sits from 9 o'clock up to 8 o'clock in the night on several days. Now, the point is not that. If there is something which is violative of law which he has done while he is seated in court, please raise that. Tell us what it is. You can't tell. You say he has done all kinds of terrible things, but I can't tell you. But I will continue to say that if
No,
you
no,
want
the
to go
list
and-
has been given apparently as part of the motion, so it has nothing to do with matters being sub-judice. But Kalyanji's final 30 seconds, given that the judge has attended RSS events, given that the judge has said that, he keeps Sanatan Dharma, Vedas above everything else, do you
There was
think
a
these are
Supreme Court
problematic?
judge, former Supreme Court judge who was a member of the DMK, mind
Yeah.
you.
Where is the
Are these
where is the
problematic
bar
statements,
on,
Mr. Kalyan?
Judge,
Yes.
allow me to complete. Where is the bar on anybody attending any organization's meeting, which is a legally run organization? RSS is a legally run organization for the last 100 years. Where is the bar on anybody to come for an RSS program? People are going for communal programs from DMK. DMK leaders have attended those organizations which were banned, like SDP, PFI. First, we have to talk about those who are indulging in atyachar, those who are indulging in killing, rather than talking about a legally run organization which is thriving
Yes,
and which
RSS
is
the
growing.
freedom fighter movement
No
organization
organization in the
without
whole
any
world
bans.
has
Yeah.
survived more than 100 years.
Okay.
No organization in the world. Believe me, no organization in the world has survived more than 100 years. This is the one and the only social organization which has survived
All right.
in
So
the whole
has-
world.
Dravidian
so has
movement,
this-
Mr. Kalyanaraman,
So that being
Dravidian
the
movement,
case, what
which
is
is
the bar?
keeping all your RSS left, right, and center, has withstood over 100 years. And
Okay.
we will stand
No,
for
don't- don't-
another
don't-
The
don't
decade.
talk
problem is
about
exactly
your-
this.
your-
This has
your-
become
your
a
confused
battle
numbers.
against RSS and BJP, and in all of that, there is a very fundamental issue of judicial browbeating and of not following judicial orders, and a slippery slope at that. But I have to leave it at that. I do thank all of our guests for joining us.